Perfect. Welcome to everyone to this webinar in which we will discover how the European projects are preparing for the IHE Plugathon 2026 and for the EHDS Primary Use. I'm Nicole Veggiotti, I'm the IHE Catalyst Connectathon Manager, and I'm very happy to welcome you. Just some practicalities about the meeting. Please keep your microphone muted. If you have questions during the session, please use the chat box and we will address the question in the second part of the webinar. Slide will be available at the EHE-Europe Connectathon 2026 webpage. And after the webinar, you will find the recording on the IHE-Europe YouTube channel. This is the agenda for today. We will see how myHealth at myHands will prepare for the Plugathon, how I2X is preparing, how xShare is preparing, and how SUSA is preparing for the Plugathon. And then I will show you briefly where you can find the agenda and some registration tips. And then we will have a Q&A session. So, for the speakers, when you need to change slide, please tell me, I will. Okay, I think Zoltan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nicole. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. The next slide, please. The myHealth at myHands project is a wallet implementation project building on the artifacts of the myHealth at EU infrastructure, which is the cross-border document exchange infrastructure, and it will provide a backbone digital house public service infrastructure, and this will be a plugin system. We have already indicated the partner initiatives who will join us in this preparation, and we have two highlighted partner project. We have a sister project, I2X. We have a common work package in both projects initiatives. I must say here, it is called project because the funding scheme is in line with the project system. But this is a product preparation, a product launching initiative. At the end of the day's initiatives, by early 2029, operating infrastructures will be available. So we have established a product development organization. So we have the sister partner I2X, and we work closely together on closing the data loop. So in this backbone infrastructure, the data will flow seamlessly, and any of the European partners will be able to plug in their systems. So the other very important new component is the wallet, the EHDS wallet infrastructure and the wallet itself. The next slide, please, which brings a completely new opportunity and will support the EHDS prescribed rights of natural persons. So we as individuals, natural persons, will be able to use the wallet as a gateway to the data space and manage our data, retrieve our data, grant access to professionals or institutes. So we will be the center of the data, and we as individuals will control our data sets, and we will prepare this environment. And next slide, please. In the Plugathon, there will be the first opportunity for experimenting or testing these opportunities and these functionalities. The one which will be mandatory for all member states by the end of this year. We know that some countries will implement this some months later, but the uniform identification and authentication will be available for all European citizens, so at least 1 free public wallet must be issued by all European member states, and this must be accepted by the end of next year. And here, at the event at the end of March, we will provide the so-called preloaded wallet, so wallets with avatars, so virtual citizens, so any of the participants will be able to use a wallet with an avatar preloaded identification and test how this can be performed, and also different type of documents will be provided. So we will also prepare documents and the so-called issuer and verifier, so the data provider and the data consumer functionalities. And there will be the opportunity to present specific attributes, so not just individual identification, health-specific identification, or a medication list. And on the next slide, I present the complete architecture, which is key. We have the issuers. So on the right-hand side, you can see the different versions of an issuer role, and on the left-hand side, the relying parties, data receivers, and we will provide a menu about these functionalities. And as the architecture and reference framework of the wallet is openly available, and there is a GitHub resource, and all functionalities, all software components are ready to use components, so you can also implement a document issuer functionality or a document receiver verifier functionality, and you can test these functionalities with the wallet, or when different organizations want to test the document sharing, pairing will be available. So according to your readiness or willingness, these functionalities will be available, and the test bed also will be provided. Colleagues from I2X and xShare, so Argir and Henrik, will provide more details on the document. So as a summary, you will have the opportunity to register for a wallet use, and you will have the opportunity to implement the issuer and the rallying party functionalities and start testing how your organization can plug in to the backbone digital health public service infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoltan, for this presentation. And now we have the project, IHE. Enrique and Martin will present the project, and we will have Jean presenting the use cases and test cases. So please, Enrique, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Can I move the slides from my side, right?
I can move them for you if you want. I'm not sure if you can move it by...
Okay. Okay, then we can move. I think it's easier if we keep it on your side. Next slide, please. Thank you very much for having us in this discussion, for having us in IHE Plugathon in Europe. I2X is an ambitious project. We are there to be front runners with several hospitals, with several healthcare providers, and with several IT companies, together also with different SDOs, in doing what? In implementing the exchange format. Through implementations that are also demonstrations of intelligent use of the format. And by intelligence, we are, of course, capturing the value and the energy of the current AI wave or tsunami, but also intelligent in the sense of thinking it well and thinking it together with professionals. Next slide. So why are we, and what do we need I2X4, we needed to show that it is possible, albeit difficult, to go to electronic health records and prepare them to output machine-readable, interoperable, European health data space compatible health data that can be then transferred to the patient, to other providers across the country, across countries. And so the purpose of the project is really about implementation, but also finding ways to facilitate, especially the healthcare professional's life, as it has long been identified that one of the biggest barriers to structured data sharing is the structured data entry. And so we're looking at tools that, for example, facilitate moving data from unstructured data to structured data. And also, we always worry that focusing on reducing the burden for the healthcare professionals. So combining the energies of the healthcare providers and their capabilities, both technical and clinical, with, of course, first mover companies that want to learn about the format and that they want to get ready for what is coming with the regulation. Next slide. So we have already mapped a set of intelligent tools that we think can facilitate this function. We are now preparing the testing with existing specifications. We know that there's still things to come and things to be clarified as the implementing acts have not yet come out. However, we have to work with the information we have, and we believe it is possible to start doing testing and start warming up the engines, and we will get better and we'll get more closer to the target as the information becomes available. Implementation and demonstration, and then definitely very important for our project is the scale up, getting more companies and, more important, more sites of those companies involved and implementing the format. Next slide. So I2X is not focused only on cross-border, it's focused also on national exchange and regional exchange and intra-organizational workflows, because you may be familiar with the 5 data categories. Patient summary, more mature, we have European, we have the international patient summary with FIRE, prescription and dispensation, and then of course we have lab results or medical exams more broadly, but we are focusing on laboratory for now, medical imaging, and reports and discharge letters or discharge reports. So for each of these demonstrators, we have to involve the vendor and the demonstrator institution. And this is why we believe that the connectathon is so important, because sometimes we have the company, but we don't have the clients. Sometimes we have the clients interested, like in the vast group of hospitals on fire. There's a lot of hospitals, maybe some are motivated to advance early, but they need to bring their vendors with them and get their vendors. Next slide. For this purpose, we are always welcoming new colleagues in different models, both as associated partners or as special interest group members, which we will be launching in the Connectathon week. Actually, I2X will have its annual meeting in that week in Brussels on the Thursday, 26th. And we are also having already established benefits from XNet for Industry, which was established in Expand the H project, Hospitals on Fire, which I've talked, and then we created the IT2 team, which is a technical team to develop tools and or adopt AI tools that could be valuable for this project, but also for, as Zoltan has just mentioned, for myHealth at myHands, sort of, as we say, sister project. Next slide. So I'm not going to go into the detail of that. It's kind of obvious, right? We depart from more information, more formalized information from the EHDR we are there to have the opportunity to bring together companies and providers. This is really important. I believe that for now, I2X is really this connection point between how companies are preparing, but also how hospitals and other healthcare organizations are preparing. Maybe that was a very happy tool. I don't even remember why I put the I2X, but anyway, there's two sides. Right? It takes two to tango. It takes the IT company, it takes the hospital, and then it takes another two to test. Because we have two partners, the vendor and the provider, and then we have to exchange with someone else that also has its vendor. So next slide. This is now where I am not capable of talking to this slide. I was very happy when you said someone else was doing it, and I'm very happy that we have very technically capable people in our team and in the hybrid team. But one thing I know is that there's a lot of interest and motivation to look at this testing because it's also bringing together two projects in the same testing case. So I'm very proud of that. And over to Jan.
Thank you, Enrique. So I would like to introduce the overall structure of the I2X test cases. And for this Plugathon, we have organized the testing framework around 3 progressive levels. The objective is to support participants step by step from basic technical validation to full interoperability with real partners. So if we go a little bit into each level, Level 1 will focus on individual system capability without requiring interaction with other participants or simulators. And at this stage, participants will demonstrate either their ability to produce EHRXF FHIR resources, so this can be done natively or via transformation tools, or they can also demonstrate their ability to integrate, parse, and interpret EHRXF FHIR resources and display the information in a clinical, meaningful way. So level 1 is therefore here to validate conformance to EHRXF specifications and correct structuring of priority category documents, and also the ability to safely consume and render the documents. So this is the foundation. Once the building blocks are validated, we move to level 2. Here, participants will interact with the FHIR server simulator, and the objective is to demonstrate the correct implementation of FHIR RESTful transactions, including querying resources, creating resources, and handling responses correctly. And with this level, we will validate the proper use of HTTP methods, correct handling of search parameters, compliance with FHIR REST conventions, and overall technical robustness. So the goal of level 1 and level 2 is to ensure that when participants move to partner-based testing, the technical fundamentals are already solid. Now, level 3 is where we move from technical validation to real interoperability. And here, participants will focus mainly on the exchange of IPS and laboratory results documents using FHIR REST APIs with real testing partners. And we propose 3 exchange patterns. The first one, the most simple one, will be the direct peer-to-peer exchange, where System A communicates directly with System B. The next one is the use of a central repository where System A publishes resources to a central FHIR repository and System B retrieves the information from this central infrastructure. And finally, the wallet-based exchange where EHRXF documents are exchanged via a wallet architecture. And this is with this last case that we also establish a common approach with the myHealth at myHands project. So next slide, please. So if we go a bit more in detail on level 3, the objective is not only to test technical exchange, but also to validate interoperability against a shared clinical use case. The clinical story we have been working on is the following. Laura is undergoing cancer treatment at Hospital A, and a few days after receiving chemotherapy, she starts feeling unwell while she is away from home. She seeks care at Hospital B, for example, at a hospital emergency department. And in this context, time is critical. So to treat her safely, Hospital B needs rapid access to her patient summary, allergies, condition and diagnosis, current medication, and also her most recent laboratory results like neutrophil count, white blood cell count, and any other relevant lab values linked to the chemotherapy follow-up. So on the right side of this slide, you have a very high-level representation of the level 3 testing that I mentioned. And the functional workflow will be the same for all three, but the technical workflow will, of course, differ depending on which scenario you work on. So basically, System B will identify the patient. It can be done either directly from patient identification or with the use of the wallet. And then System B will try to search and retrieve the IPS. Here you have three ways of doing it, either directly from System A or via a central repository or through the wallet architecture, depending on which scenario you're using. System B will then retrieve the related laboratory results, here again with the same three options as for the IPS, and then System B will have to display and use the information for clinical decision making. Optionally, we can also have System B that can update the IPS and share an updated version. So Level 3 is not just partner testing. Here we try to have end-to-end testing with clinically anchored testing, architecturally flexible and aligned with different projects because we combine I2X and myHealth at myHands projects. So this is all for me.
Thank you, Jean. You were perfectly on time. Okay, so I would like to pass the floor for the xShare preparation, and on that we have Argiri. Argiri, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nicole. On the next slide, please. So briefly, formally, xShare is about expanding the electronic health record exchange format to share and effectively use health data in the EHDS. Next slide, please. As it was mentioned before by Zoltan, EHDS is very powerful in terms of providing rights to natural persons, putting them at the center of their healthcare. The project is active in two parts of these rights. The first one is to download a copy of your data in the format, and the second one is the ability to insert data in your electronic health record. So here are the ways we have considered you could share your data with a click of a button. You can download them, you can one-time share them, and the current implementation is using smart health links, either using a QR code or via a URL directly. And the last one is the linked options, which means for a period of time, you can allow continuous sharing of your health data to another organization or another system. In terms of priority data categories, there are 6 in the regulation right now, and there are 2 additional ones that xShare is working on, with the first one being the care plans and IPS plus R, which is an extended version of international patient summary intended for clinical research. And I know that initially this was planned to be part of the coming Connectathon, but I was informed earlier that IPS plus R might be testable on the next version of for the next year. Next slide, please. So here are first implementers, let's say, and adopters. There are 7 technically plus 1 adoption sites. There is France, which is mostly in the business setting. Italy with a hospital network. Then on regional, we have Madeira and Catalonia. And lastly, on national level, we have Ireland, Greece, and Cyprus. Here it's missing Denmark, but Denmark is a special case working on the care plan specifications. Next slide, please. So there are 3 main goals in the xShare vision that everyone can share their data in the format. The first one is the yellow button, the ability to press a button or something equivalent and get your data or be able to share your data effectively. The second one is the hub. This is about tools and specifications that are evolving and are usable and reusable. And the third one is the industry label, where the idea is to have a partnership between standard organizations, the industry, and the authorities, so that we can deliver 3 types of labels that can attest about the readiness and conformance of the adopted button, but in the sense of adopting the format. Next slide, please. So the use cases and preliminary, some of them have been tested in the last Connectathon, are the ability to create your IPS document in version 1.2, or to have the ability to use the converter CDA to FHIR and validate the conformance over that. Then continuous is the ability to download this document, and the second version is to be able to share it using these myHealth links. Next slide, please. And in conjunction with the other projects, there is the ambition that a yellow button can act as an issuer for the EUDI wallet ecosystem. So you can extract information, let's say, by using the button and inserting information into the wallet. And with that, I think I am done.
Okay, thank you, Argyri. And now we have the preparation to the IHE Plugathon. Leah, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nicole. So hello, everyone. Next slide, please. Great. So let me briefly introduce SUSA to everyone. SUSA stands for the Sustainable Healthcare with Digital Health Data Competence, and it's actually a pan-European effort to close the advanced digital skills gap in healthcare by focusing on health data. The project brings together universities together with SMEs and key ecosystem actors, and it is designed to end a shared learning model across degree programs and lifelong learning. So over the project, we're aiming to train thousands of students and hundreds of working professionals across 9 countries using common learning objectives and practical learning experiences. Next slide, please. Thank you. The timing of SUSA is very intentional. So across Europe, we see fast-moving policy and infrastructure directions around health data, including European health data space, while at the same time, the workforce is struggling to keep up with the skills needed to operate in a data-driven health system. SUSA responds by building a structured education model around 4 key digital capacity areas: AI, cybersecurity, IoT and data, and by connecting them to real healthcare contexts and sustainability goals. Next slide, please. So at its core, SUSA project is an education transformation project. We are not creating isolated training content, rather we are creating a shared model that can be embedded into existing bachelor's and master's programs and complemented with standalone modules for lifelong learning and also micro-credentials. A key element is the shared learning objectives and the shared learning experiences, because we want learners from different backgrounds to build real interdisciplinary competence around health data. Next slide, please. To make the education model usable across different countries and institutions, SUSA also invests in enabling infrastructure. The virtual campus is the entry point for learning materials and shared activities with both public and protected collaboration spaces. It is designed to connect to the specific infrastructure required by each learning experience, including also datasets and platforms, while also it supports a practical ecosystem layer through a collaboration and matchmaking platform and an employer-focused hub that maps training to upskilling pathways. So next slide, please. Thank you. One of the most tangible learning by doing components in SUSA is our upcoming Plugathon track. So the intention here is to create a structured and supportive way for students and also the overall SUSA partners to experience interoperability and testing-driven workflows rather than only hearing about standards conceptually. So importantly, we want to remove the ambiguity and what preparation is needed, what scenarios participants should bring in mind, and how they should use this week productively. So eventually the goal is a repeatable model that we can refine over cycles again and again. And I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. So now it's my time to present you something. So the idea here is to guide you through the agenda and the registration tips if you are interested. But before the venue for the 2026 IHE Plugathon for EHDS Primary Usage, it will be the EHDS in Brussels. It's about 10 minutes walk from Brussels South Station, so Gare du Midi. It will be from Monday, 23rd of March afternoon to Wednesday, 25th of March. And here I inserted some photos from the previous year in which we handled the IHE Plugathon in Vienna. Regarding the registration link and the agenda, we will see the registration link a bit later. Let me just share with you the agenda. So this is our web page on the IHE Connectathon week. You will find here this tab related to the IHE Plugathon 2026. You will find the different events that we can offer. In this case, there is the EHDS Primary Usage, a very short description, plus the possibility of downloading a more broader description. Here is the agenda, but there is one section before, I think. Let's give it time to download it properly. Okay, so here in this PDF, you will find the description of the Plugathon itself, what you will do, the target audience, and the intended output. You, of course, can find the link for register here, plus the agenda. So as I said before, we will start on Monday afternoon with some educational activities, and then we will start with the organization of the tests in the Plugathon floor. Then we have Tuesday, and we have some hybrid session between education and testing activities, and Wednesday that is full of testing activities, and the end with the celebration at Wednesday afternoon. Okay, let me go back a bit on our web page because I want to say something more. Here in this web page, you will find also the resources related to what you need to prepare before, for example, for the wallet. You will find all the reference implementations. So here you will find all the resources that will allow you to be prepared to the IHE Plugathon, of course. So let me go back to my slides. Okay. And here is the registration link plus the fee schema. So in this slide, you can find the fee schema for a regular participant. And if you are participating in one of the EU-funded projects mentioned before, so namely xShare, IHE, and myHealth at myHands, this is the discount fee. You can register accessing to this registration link if he is able to download it. Okay, maybe, yes, perfect. In which you will find all the information that we have also discussed today with my email for the Plugathon if you need any information. And you will be able to insert your family name, your given name, the organization, the email, the discount code if you're participating to an EU-funded project, if you need an invoice, and the data relaxation for lunch and coffee break. And I think that's it from my side. So I think I will stop sharing if I'm able to, and we are open for questions if there is any question. There is one question in the chat regarding the share of the presentation. Of course, it will be shared in our web page with the video together. Any other question? It seems we were very, very clear. So if there are no questions from the audience, let's see if I can see some hand raised. No, I cannot. Or maybe yes. In the Plugathon, we'll be able to acquire the silver label. To my understanding, yes, but I will rely on Argyrion or Sophia for that. We have a meeting with the silver label with Nathan soon.
Yes. So in theory, that should be possible. Then we just need to know exactly what type of label it would be, and what would be the label of the label, if we can say it that way. So it's in preparation, but yes, that should not be a problem. I think there will be the label, but there will be also some kind of certificate of attendance and so on. So.
Sure. Yes. Exactly. Okay. Thank you, Sofia, for the answer. You're welcome, Carlos. Okay. So any other question? We are here to assist you. If you have any doubt. I mean, you can also reach me via email. That this is not a problem. Okay, so I think we can close the meeting. I would like to thank all the speakers, Zoltan, Enrique, Jen, Argiri, Leah, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for attending this webinar, and I really, really hope to see you in Brussels. Thank you.